Right, I've gone on forever about how when you've been on the CX for a little while, it gets easier. Because after a while, what happens is you'll do jobs for people and they'll go, "You've just done a job for me, going from Milton Keynes to Slough." They go, "Yeah, whereabouts are you based?" "Oh, I'm based outside Dunstable." "What kind of vehicle you got?" "I've got a Luton van." "Oh, I've got loads of jobs for people in Luton van." And then they'll start to ring you. The reason being because you've done a decent job and they think, rather than taking a chance with someone they don't know, if I keep booking the same guy, you get a rapport going and they know that the job's going to get done properly because you've done it more times, you've done it a few times for them. The thing is, when I was in the Luton, also, they pay you a bit more money. You kind of go, the mob near me, you think, well, I'm actually getting a better rate out of them and all that kind of stuff. Now, I don't know if it's a truck thing or if it's just happened anyway, but recently I've noticed there's a bit of a pitfall with this. So before we go on, I just want to explain how it happened. So what happened was I come unstuck again. So I'm doing a job for a regular guy. I used to do jobs for him on the CX. He's not on the CX anymore. He just gets his own customers and he just books us direct. And it was picking up from Gillingham. And I've done this job several times before, normally going to Gillingham, but picking up from Gillingham. It's picking up from a place now, man. They're these great, big, huge, they're like, 250 high machines. Like, don't know what they do, but they're machines. But this one, what I'd done is I'd done one previously and I'd taken some pallets down there. And they said, right, we need some pallets coming back. So I'm thinking, okay, but the pallets weren't high, no problem. So I thought, I've got to find myself a job in the morning. And I got myself, because I had to pick it up in the afternoon, picking up after lunchtime. 12 till 4 it was. So I got a job going to Bournemouth. Now Bournemouth is not close to Gillingham, but it's going south. So it wasn't going to Sheffield or Leeds or somewhere like that, and it's not always easy to get out of. And I kind of thought, well, and I also could pick up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So it was, I'd be dropping in Bournemouth probably about 11 o'clock. I had to pick up the next one in Gillingham between 12 and 4. So that gave me like 5 hours to get from Bournemouth to Gillingham. And chances are I probably would have had head towards the 25 anyway. So I'd got back to the 25 and then rather than going left, I'd have gone right, picked Gillingham up, dropped it off, and there was money on both jobs, plenty of money on both jobs. Then I'm going down there in the morning and I noticed that our lorry, Harry, is in... he's going to Maidstone. And I'm thinking, well, Maidstone's like, that's ever so close to Gillingham, isn't it, really? And then a geezer rings me up. He says, well, we've just noticed you're in the area. Could you do a job for us going from Waterlooville to Swindon? And I'm thinking, right, well, that's on the left-hand side. So rather than trekking all the way across, I can do Swindon, still a bit of a distance from home. It's further than Milton Keynes. Go back. And I thought, well, this doesn't make any sense. Harry hasn't got a job coming back. He's half an hour away from pickup. I'll put the job on Harry. So I swapped the jobs over and I said, Harry, rather than me picking up these pallets, you go and pick up these pallets, bring them back to Milton Keynes. Of course, Harry's turned up. They're not pallets. I messed up. It's a machine. It's 250 high. Harry's in an 18-ton truck. He hasn't got 250 through the side. He's only got 240. It's not going on. So then I've had to ring the customer because I've got his number because I've done the job many times. Rung my mate, the shipper, rung Simple Brian, said I explained the situation, told him what went wrong, told him I messed up, and I put it all right. I went to pick it up the next morning. It was supposed to be in Milton Keynes the following morning. I had it in Milton Keynes the following morning. Admittedly, not 8 o'clock. I had it there at 10:30. But as I said to the guy I unloaded, I said, "I'm so sorry, I'm late." He said, "Don't worry about it, mate." He said, "That machine will be sitting there for 2 days before they even look at it," which is something else I find massively frustrating. Don't tell me everything's on the hurry up, and then when I get there, they just stick it in a corner and we'll look at it next week. So that's how I messed up. But the thing is, and it occurred to me, when I do these jobs for these firms, I'm doing them for standard rate. I'm doing it for 250 a mile, which is what you charge in a 7.5 ton. Sometimes they go, "Oh, can you do it for a bit less?" Oh, and sometimes it's like, and I get there and it's like, "Oh, I've got a great job for you," and it's going to Scotland, take all the rubbish away with you. It's not a great job. You know that it's not a great job. You know that no one else is going to do that, so you're ringing me. And what I was kind of thinking is, in the old days when I used to drive the Luton van, they used to pay me a little bit more. Now, sometimes, if there's 4 or 5 jobs on the CX in any one go, I take a punt. Sometimes a job might only be going 65, 70 miles. I might quote them 300 quid because there's 5 jobs. And I'm thinking, well, one of them might say yes. And if they don't, As it goes down, and there's only 2, 3 sales, like 4 jobs, 3 jobs, 2 jobs, I'll ring them up. I'll go, I'll do that one, you know, for the normal price type thing. So what I'm now finding is, if I put jobs into my regular customers, Gemma says some of them ring us up and they go, can you do this job? And we go, yeah, we can do it. And then the rates they want to pay us are less money than we get on standard bibs on the CX. So, all right. She now turns around and says, we're booked. So the moral of this story is, just because you're doing regular work for a regular person doesn't necessarily mean it's going to do you any favours. Of course, the answer to this is the answer I've said all the way along, is what we really want is our own end user customers, because if you can get your own customers direct, then you can charge them the money for the job plus the money the shipper would take, because you get their cut out of it as well. But yeah, I just it occurred to me, I tell you what may occur to me is I thought, well, you book me every time to do this job because you know that I'm going to do this job correctly, no aggravation. You just know it's going to get done. Whereas if you put it on to another lorry driver that you don't know, you're taking a chance. Now, I put it up to a lorry driver I did know and I messed up, but that easily could have been them. And I'm thinking, if you're booking someone that you know, that you trust to do the job and to get it done properly, shouldn't they be worth more money? Is it going to stop me working for these guys? No, not really. At least if someone rings you up and says, I've got a job, it takes the aggravation out of fishing, doesn't it? So anyway, just thought I'd share that with you guys. Hope you're well. Hope you're out there doing the CX thing, and I hope you are taking care and taking money.